chilly autumn day, fields, countryside, can only mean one thing: we're test riding something else, something adventurous. Right, so Trevor Pope Motorcycles in Gosport have very kindly given me this bad boy test ride. It's a little bit different. We've got the feel for the adventure bike thing at the moment, and I've already done the Triumph Tigers, the Explorer. We've done the BMW GS, which their video didn't come out too well because I was learning about my Senna and didn't have the backpack talkie thing switched on, so I've got an hour of silence. So anyway, we're going to have a go with this one. Comes with all the bells and whistles on it that KTM have hatched. Give you a little run through. I'll turn her on. KTM ready to race. Right, so everything is done on this switch here. As you see, is a little bit of blurb on it. It's 1290. Don't know what CC it actually is. Probably somewhere up around there. V-twin, and it's got all the same sort of bits that the other top adventure bikes have got. If we go into this scroll, everything's done off of this scroll here. So you hit one of them, there's your driving modes. You hit a set button, you just scroll through them. So obviously sport, which is full bore, street, which is a little bit more tame, rain, which is tamer still, then off-road, where it just adapts the power abouts, where it's sort of place you sort of want it for wrestling around in the mud. What else we got? We go back, we've got it on sport mode at the moment, why not? Then damping, that obviously then sets sets whatever damping you want. Sport's all hard, street a little bit softer, comfort, bouncy, off-road, whatever that does. And also it messes around and changes your what's it called, the traction control as well. So whatever mode that goes into, the traction control adapts appropriately. Load, so you can have a single person with luggage, or single fat bastard, 2 people. Oh, now someone's gonna, no, it's alright. And then 2 people with luggage. There's your ABS control, ABS mode, if you have it on road, off-road, blah de blah. Heating, this is a bit nice. You can have your heated grips, you can set the temperature of them, heated rider seat and a heated pillion seat. That's currently on at maximum. Can't change that. Strange, but I'll tell you what we'll do. Just give myself a little bit of heat. There you go. Right, but anyway, let's get on her and have a little feel. Right, so we're helmeted up, and let's see what adventure we have on the KTM Super Adventure. There was a man who just informed me he needed a wee and ran into the bushes. Yeah, you meet all sorts out doing these test rides. I'm hoping you can hear me anyway. Testicles, because the last test ride I did, I was just coming to grips with my Senna, and then my Senna decided to not get to grips with me, and I did an hour test ride on BMW for no volume to come out. So anyway, we'll try again. So anyway, like I said, I picked this up from Trevor Pope's in Gosport, and that's just up the road, or down the road rather, from the A32 Illumis. So we thought we'd take advantage of that. Right, anyway, let's talk about this bike. Excuse me. See, we are recording. Yeah, we're recording. You're also going to have to excuse the if I've got a dodgy angle on my camera, because I've had to plumb a big old mic in, and I didn't come prepared with all my little bits and bobs. But you'll get the feel of her. So yeah, the initial feeling, really comfortable. Bit of a lower seat height, I think, than the last couple that I tried, the Triumph and the BM. So it doesn't feel, as I'm saying it now, massive. Feels just about right, you know. It's yeah, it's good size. First glance, we're looking at the front of this screen. Well, we're not actually looking out the front of the screen. It's sort of, your eyes just go over the top of it, which is handy because the screen is actually, it is a wind deflector. You can't be looking through it. So all these little creases and mouldings, and just distorts the hell out of everything. But it is doing a good job at keeping the wind off me. Mirrors, I can see lots of my elbow. They're not the greatest of positions, but you know, I get the gist of what's going on back there. You know, I am going to be fussy about such things. I'll just say it as I find. We're currently in sport mode. Now, the selling point, among other little bits and bobs with these, is the power of them. If I get past this lorry, we'll demonstrate. But yeah, there are 150 sonic brake horsepower. I'm not sure if that's at the back wheel or the crank. I'd imagine it is probably the back wheel, but I don't know. We'll have to check on that one. But it is considerably more powerful than its competition. BMW being the main rival at, well, the new one, the liquid cooled version they've brought out, is about 125 brake horsepower. So yeah, I've got it on sports mode, which gives it the full power. I've got the suspensions on sports suspension, which gives it its most rigidity. You can firm it up even more if you so wish, by purely selecting the settings for luggage or a pillion rider as well. That'll obviously account for more weight and make the suspension harder. There's also comfort, which we'll have a go at in a minute. I just want to give it a little handful of beans. I think it's still running in, although the guy I just got it from said, you know, go out, give it some. When I get over 7,000 revs, I've got a red light on my dashboard. But I'll tell you, it does yomp on very easily. I'm 5th gear there, 85 mile an hour, didn't even notice it would go up to it. It is buzzy. As soon as you start to get it over 5,000, 6,000 revs there, you've got a lot of buzzing going on. You know, it's actually buzzing that much, it's affecting my eyesight a bit. I think going a bit blurry. It's not the fact I need my glasses. Yeah, she's feeling, I'm not actually sure on the weight of it, I'm going to have to look that one up, but it does feel very nimble. So that's in top gear, 6th gear, at 6,000 revs, and I'm getting a lot of buzz. The seating position of it is nice. It kind of, although you're upright, there's a little slight more lean into the screen, I found, than with the competition. Don't know if it's just me. The seat is really comfortable. It's not overly soft. It's, you know, it's got a lot of firmness going to it, but it's nice. It's wide. sort of like just a slight little hump at the back there, you know, just sort of sits at the base of the back, or top of your arse, whichever you want to look at it. And yeah, you know, when you do give it some, you feel your butt being sort of pressed into that little hump bit on the seat, and yeah, no, it's been well thought out. And then of course got the added bonus of it being heated. I don't think I've actually got that on. And that's something that the BMW doesn't have, which I find really surprising. I only found out this morning when I was talking to a BMW dealer that I think it's the K1200s or whatever, the sort of like the sports toury sort of thing, that's got it, and one of the others, but I don't believe the GS's at the moment have heated seat. Let's just give it a second. Right, there's another little niggle of mine. If you look down, you'll see my high beam light on. I did not intentionally put the high beam on. Now, if you see where the high beam switch is, of course it's got the little trigger thingy, just if you want to flash someone. But the way the switch kind of, it's got a bit of a longer tail on it, and it comes over the hand grip there. So that very easily, which we going, get knocked, and that's the on. And so that's the third time in about half an hour I've turned my high beam off. You know, you're sitting up high as you would do with one of these bikes, you've got a great field of view. Drop it down a gear, open her up. Boom. It's at 113 mile an hour there. Just a few seconds. Shouldn't do that really. Shouldn't even have mentioned I did that. I should just blurred it out. But there you go. Back down to a safe number. But yeah, in the interests of research and giving you a good review, I'm prepared to take that gamble. The other thing that I noticed is the gear lever. Now, I think they've designed it with big boots in mind. At the moment I've just got my Alpine Star Super Tech R race boots on, and it's changed, you know, up changing. It's quite a bit of flexion on the foot, or raise the foot to get it up there, you know, compared to, you know, I'm comparing this now to normal sports bikes. You know, I ride a Blade every day. Well, I ride a Blade, not every day necessarily. And compared to that, it's just a little bit more effort to up change. But then I dare say, by the time I've got a bigger pair of adventure boots or, you know, enduro boots on, they're going to be filling that gap. Oh, shout. Other little niggles might be, well, naturally I can't say there are any other niggles. It does look a little bit kind of plasticky, not in a really bad way, but it, you know, there is, yeah. And I think a lot of it is well, it's another little gripe, is it's only available, I think, confined in one colour, which is this white. You know, KTM have never been known for their range of colours, but yeah, adventure bikes and white don't really bode with me. But yeah, he's really eager, he's really effortless. You know, just going through here, I'm a little bit over the speed limit, hardly touching the throttle. I'm in 5th gear there. And where it's so comfortable and you've just protected off all the elements, you know, I really have got to check myself of keeping fairly legal. is really manoeuvrable. It's quite impressive for the fact of how flickable it is. It really is effortless. I think it's actually got a slightly longer wheelbase than the BM. But for what I can remember, and that was about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago when I test rode the BM, that yeah, it wasn't as quick responding as this. And there was something about the BM that sort of like did make me nervous, but I was told by the dealer that it's just a sensation you get from how they've set up the front end, because you know, the BM's have got a bit of a tricksy, funny suspension front end on it. And I did find if I went in a little bit hot into like a roundabout, that it just felt as though the front was getting a bit loose. But apparently there's a sensation you get from them, and you know, it's just a matter of getting used to, and it isn't just about to spit you off. So far this hasn't given me that call for concern. I did, well obviously getting used to it, but after I'd just been on it for a few minutes earlier today, went round a roundabout, and it, well, I was probably expecting, because I've read a lot of the write-ups and how people have been, you know, using the sportiness element of it. I was probably expecting, you know, because I did ride to the showroom on my Fireblade, then I got on this, went around on the first couple of roundabouts and thought, oh, hello. You know, it just reminded me that it is an endurance adventure bike. Oh, I was going to do that. Right, anyway, so let's have a little feel about the ride mode. Shouldn't again be doing this on riding along, but I'm sure we can manage it without dying. So, drive mode, we'll keep it on sporty, but damping. Let's take that down to comfort. Let's see what happens with that. I'll just say, just hit the button on the left, down to comfort, hit set, it's now on. Now, whilst I've been doing that, if you notice, but my finger inadvertently hit that full beam again. That's really going to wind people up. Well, I'm normally worried about that, but you know, we don't like being unnecessarily flashed. Right, so yes, comfort mode on, and yeah, it sort of just all of a sudden felt a bit soggier. Let's hit some bumps. Yeah, it's really on the road out, that is. What we need to do, really, certainly like to do on these Blackness rides, test rides, is to put them to the test of what they're made for, and that normally involves a bit of a dirt track. I have just signed a disclaimer that if I bin it, I've got £1,000 of excess to pay on the insurance, which I really don't want to do. It's only 500 quid at the last two places I think I went to, and even that I didn't like the thought of. This third gear, you know, it's down, well, I'm just like 27 mile an hour, third gear. Rev's just tickling over, and it's just got that eagerness. It's ready. And I could have gone then. But this could be quite interesting. Do like a little torque test, you know. It's a big V-twin. Torque should be its middle name. While I'm talking about the V-twin, one thing that did surprise me was the oh, come on, shouldn't do this. Plenty to get you around there. But yeah, big V-twin. Just it's now, you know, I'm starting to feel the sound of it a little bit, hear the sound of it. Now I'm tuning my ear into it. But yeah, I think when I first got on it, I was expecting it to be a bit more V-twinny sound.
but it's a little bit, yeah, now I can hear it now, the V-twin, yeah. But yeah, I was just like, oh, it's a bit buzzy. Yeah, I felt it sounded a bit electric, but as with all things, a nice Prokovich exhaust sensor on there will change that. Oh look, before I knew it, all this chit-chattering, here I am at Loomies. Here we go, Loomies. We'll go past a minute, we'll come back. Oh, police everywhere as well. They're going that way, I'm going this way. Oh, watch out, Mr. Policeman. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, the sound needs unleashing. It's also, unlike the other two competitors, this has got chain drive. Obviously it's a better way of getting more power out of an engine where it's supposed to be, rather than getting lost in bigger linkages, or prop rather. So you know, you've got the maintenance thing to do with it. But, you know, that's alright. I don't mind a chain, especially if you get more power out of it. This comes with spoked wheels. I'm not sure again on the dimensions, I'll have to flick that up on the screen. I know the other two were 19, I think 17s. I imagine this is probably the same. The smaller engine bikes come and go up to 21-inch front wheel to give you a bit better options on tyre choice. What we need is my favourite little signs while I'm on such a bike, and that is the bridleway sign. Well, at least a bit of gravel. Where's that? Right, we're going up there. I've just found one. Just found one, I think. There's a little test. Slow speed manoeuvrability. It does feel very beautifully balanced. What do I just see here? There we go. Oh, we have mud. Right, now what we'll do here is we'll put that to off-road. It's not really particularly off-roady, but it's a bit looser. Let's just check how much we've got left on the thingy. Yeah, we're alright. Oh, we've got battery left. No, I'm going to change the battery. Right, we'll continue this in a minute after I've changed my GoPro battery. Don't want you to miss any of this. Right, so here we are, phase 2. I'm on some private land I'm probably going to get told off for being on. So we're going to put her in to off-road mode. Set, close throttle, that's done. Dampers, right, damping will be on comfort. We'll change that as well to off-road. That's done. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. We don't want my bum bag up. Don't want my bum bag coming loose, do we? Alright, fingers crossed farmer don't come and get us and tell us off. So alright, we've got a bit of, oh dear. Bit of loose ground. You can feel that it's kind of lower geared itself. It's lowered its gearing down a bit. Keeps it really, it's got kind of got that feeling of punch right from the off. Front end is following the lines, but it's feeling a little bit nervous. Gravel's never a nice thing to ride on. No one likes riding on gravel. So So that's why this is always a good test. I'm just going to stand up, give it a little bit, see how that feels. That kind of makes it full. That's lowered the gravity down, made that feel a little bit nicer. Yeah. So yeah, there's the gravel test. Just got to get back down here in one piece now, down this big slope. I'll give it a little bit of, we've got the ABS, but that, yeah, so that'd be interesting what that does with the back end. And keep it in a low gear. Just going to let her roll down. I'm now shitting myself because of the £1,000 excess, and the front end just feels like it wants to go all over the place. I really don't want to go back and explain what I've just done. See, now the difference, although this is being acclaimed, see, now I'm not feeling as inspired to give it as much as I did with the BM. That's the truth. The difference between this and the BM, although the BM is heavier, it's how the weight lies. Well, this obviously got a big old V-twin. The weight from the engine, which is like the heaviest part in the bike, comes up a bit higher. Where with the parallel twin on your BM, on the Boxer engine, it lays low, centre of gravity. Right, there's the gravel test. If it was mine, I'd have probably challenged it a little bit more. But see, I don't want to pay £1,000. I really weren't going to do that. But yes, that's alright. So then back onto the road. So then we'll stick her into the mode again. There we go. Not set. Need that back. Traction control. Forgotten how to do it now. Right. That. Back up into sport mode, why not? Set, close throttle, throttle's closed. Damping, back into, what should we have? Comfort, let's go comfort. These things are supposed to be built for comfort, not speed, even though this is very nippy. And let's set that. And as you see, while I've done that, I've inadvertently hit my Empire beam again, which is irritating. While I'm just parked here in this random spots, just show you handy little things. 12 volt auxiliaries, got them, one of them down now. What's that? Looks like I've got a little glove box. Yeah, somewhere to keep your change in your whatever you might need. Cigarette lighter, bloody bar. As we can see down here, it's all very simple, you know, compared to them. I think it's white power suspension on this, electrically assisted, obviously. And that is all that is going on there. It's very simple. So right, with all that reset, we will take her back out on the road where we're supposed to be. And carry on. Sure what level of extras this goes up further still. You know, like the GS, you can get keyless ignition, gear assist, which is basically kind of like a quick shifter. Where you just you don't touch your clutch, just flick your gears as you're going along. Throttle's open, whatever, it just slicks it straight through. yeah, I'll try and find out and put up all the list of optional extras. Obviously luggage, I don't come with the luggage as standard, but it's got all the racks ready to prep it up, ready for your long haul. But yeah, we'll start heading her back now, and we'll pull over somewhere and just have a little walk around her as well, see anything else I've missed. Now I've got over the initial ferocity of the engine, I'm kind of really noticing the buzzing more. 6,000 revs, hands are buzzing a bit, the vision is blurred a bit. I imagine it probably blurred on the camera. Yeah, I did get a bit of that on both the other two. Not quite as bad though. And the other thing with having a bike, like this kind of bike, you know, your adventure series, with a get up and go powerful engine, is it going to entice me to ride it harder all the time? See, the thing I liked about, like when I rode the other two, the GS and the Triumph, was they kind of relaxed you into it. You know, they had plenty of power there, they could punch past whatever they needed to, but you kind of got, I suppose, relaxed into it with everything worked together. Where this is kind of, it's eager. It's not now, you know, normally I love a bit of eagerness. You know, that is my thing. But then that's why I've got my blade. I'm not getting rid of that. You know, I'm keeping that. You know, so I can go out, get it out of my system and rag it around. Where I want something big like this to be like a big comfy armchair to relax into it, just lay back, enjoy the ride, you know. And I think with this much stop, I'd probably end up detrimentally going everywhere quicker. See, with an adventure bike, because I've just done a European tour, that video will be coming out soon, I've just been a bit lazy with it. But when I've done that, with my wingman Sergeant Fingers, start around here, and obviously we've done that on sports bikes, and that was brilliant. But then a lot of it, you kind of, although we did take in beautiful scenery and all of that, a lot of it is sort of, you miss what you're going past because you're caught up in the moment of riding. All your concentration, you know, you're having a bit of it, and you know, your adrenaline's going. Where I think a lot of the beauty of the adventure biking is just to take your life a little bit slower. About handle everything, you know, life throws at you, do it in comfort, keep the elements off you, and just sit back and absorb your surroundings. You know, don't get me wrong, this is totally doable, totally, you know, brilliant for that kind of scenario, that kind of style. And you don't have to ride it like a knob. You know, a lot of that is just down to me. You know, if I've got it there, I will use it. You know, I've just got to remind myself, just relax, just take it easy. And yeah, that's where the, you know, the beauty of this engine does shine through. It's just, it's more than capable. So, you know, you're never waiting for anything. It's ready there to go. It will deliver. You know, and that does, you know, that gives it an extra little tick, I suppose. You know, it could be looked upon, well, no, I can't say a negative, as long as you're mindful of what you're there for. But especially fully loaded, to see that's another way you've got to look upon it. Is, you know, with the venture bike thing, a lot of guys, they'll have their missus on the back, they'll have all the luggage, you got all the hair dryers, kitchen sinks, kettle, everything going on with you, so you do tank along with a lot of weight. At the moment, although, you know, I'm by no means light, you know, well, I'm sort of 16, 17 stone or whatever it is, and this is effortless. You know, it doesn't notice I'm on you. And so when you do come to touring, going up the side of mountains, you've got, you know, steep inclines, you've got all your luggage, your missus, etc. all on the back. You know, that's another tick where big power will come in handy. It'll be nice and usable. Oh, there's too much traffic out here. It's just spoiling all the fun, isn't it? You know, you've got to stare at the back of vans. This is no good. Look over there. That's where we should be. And the ergonomics, I suppose, and the aerodynamics, they work in really nice. When I was just earlier coming across on the blade, I've got this big textile jacket thing on. I was feeling a bit of a pussy today. It's a bit chilly out now. It's October. So yeah, I stuck this on, and I was hating it on the blade. I blew up like a balloon coming down the motorway, and it was giving me loads of drag. But now I'm on this kind of bike, which such a jacket kind of is made for. It's no problem at all. I haven't got any wind on me. You know, the seating position's lovely. You know, the way the tank, wherever this big old panel here flares out, it's all my legs protected, got nothing hitting my hips. The way the bars are with the hand deflectors, you know, that chucks another bit of wind out the way. And this big old screen and deflector on the front just ploughs through. Yeah, I've got, you know, I haven't noticed any buffeting on my head. That's just flicking it straight over the top. That's also adjustable. I don't know if I mentioned that. Look at that, I keep flicking that. That's really bugging me. I just flicked the high beam on again. But yeah, this is all changeable. You can move that up, down an inch or so. I've kind of got used to the screen with its all this distortion going on through its various ventilations. Just, yes, so that's not there now. It's all good. Right, now I'm going to get past this. Oh, come on. Go for it. So yeah, the big question, out of the three big adventure bikes, the Triumph Explorer, the BMW R1200 GS Adventure, or the KTM 1290 Super Adventure, which one would I stick my money on? The KTM and BMs are up there around the same kind of money. You know, you're looking, if you know, you start one of the toys on it and all that, you're going to bite you. You're going to be shelling out, you know, around the sort of 16 grand marks. Where the Triumph, for whatever reason it may be, you can pick that up considerably cheaper. They're doing more and more deals on them all the time. I think if I was to, well, I am actually in the market for going out and buying such a thing. Hence, that's why I'm test riding them, not just for shits and giggles. Although it has been a lot of that. Oh, right, that's changed my damping back. But then I flicked that I-beam on again. That's, oh, God. Right, yeah, where was I? Which one? I think, hand on heart, see, it was a bit of a dilemma of between the BMW and KTM. I sort of decided after I rode the BMW, but yeah, I much prefer that to the Triumph. It's just, it's, you know, it's got the heritage, it's got this engineered to hell, it's got that German engineering going on. It's a beautiful thing. Then the only thing was sort of like with the KTM was obviously the power and the reported handling properties of it. Now I've ridden it, it kind of, I'm still looking at it, it's a bit funny looking. I'm parked next to like a GS Adventure, it looks little, you know, it is a big bike, don't get me wrong. A little is probably the wrong word, but it just doesn't look quite as raw. The GS does look like a purpose-built tank on two wheels. You know, they've all got tankiness about them, and I think what doesn't help, for me personally, is the fact this is white. You know, I haven't been holding back there, he's not even a copper. Look at him go. Yeah. If it was in black maybe, or in that matte green that the other two are, which I kind of really like, I think that goes well with you know, a venture bike, something a bit military. But yeah, if I get off of this, well, when I get off of this, I'll show you what I mean about sort of like a funny little look. So yeah, anyway, I digress. Where was I? So which one? Yeah, it would be the GS. Yeah, it's lacking in power a little bit. No, it's not lacking in power, it's got less power than this, let's say that. You know, it's obviously see, BMW, they've got the ability to build powerful things. You've only got to look at the S1000, and they've been building these, you know, sort of bikes for a long time. You know, if they felt the need for monumental power, I'm sure they'd have addressed that by now. You know, I did ride the GS the other week and think, oh god, this is gutless. I felt it was very nice for, you know, what I was expecting it to do. See, look at this guy, pretending to be a policeman. Making everyone nervous. You know, this is the thing, because potentially I'm going to go out and slap a load of money on the BM, the GS Adventure, and then after riding this, will I then be like, oh, feeling the need for a bit more power? I hope that doesn't happen, because they are a hell of an investment. Alright, if we just tuck down here from when we started, we'll have a little look and finish this off. Been out a few hours with this now, they'll be wondering where I've got to. I'll still punch power. Yeah, let's just try it out. Let's just try it out. So we've got nothing behind us. Take it down to relative low gear. First gear, punch. Yeah, first gear, give it a little punch, front wheel comes up. It's always a good sign. It's a childish little test, but it's a test I like to do. Will it power wheelie? Yeah, it's been very well thought out, very well thought out. But I'm going to be very interested now KTM have upped the game with the big adventure bikes, where they're going to go with it. Just check we've still got some power. Yeah, we're all good. We've managed not to flick too much shit up it, which is good. See, now if you look down here, this bodywork that's giving it its width, you see, and then the engine, you don't really see any of it. There it is, it's dinky. Now apart from that dirty great big lump of bodywork here, which is probably hiding, yeah, the radiator and everything, they've managed to make it small. The frame is just little and minimal. You know, you could chomp all that off and that'd be, well, of course they've got smaller ones in the range, the 1060 or 1090, whatever, the 1160 or 1190. This is the big boy. It's not. It's, you know, it doesn't feel overly big until you put it near gravel. Then it's like, oh shit. That's a little thing. Look at that. It's a little thermostat, temperature gauge or temperature control for the pillion. There you can see it's all ready for the luggage to strap straight on, bolt on. Yeah, I like it. Probably when I'm on a GS and some guy with one of these pulls up next to me, I'm going to go, oh, he's got more power than me. But then I have got my blade for that. So yeah, I think going for the GS, for me, is probably the right decision. You know, I look at a GS, you know, the big adventure, all singing, all dancing, with all the stuff strapped over it, and I do get a little twinge. This, I'm glad I've ridden it. I'm glad I'm standing now staring at it, weighing up the pros and cons. Oh, I just noticed it's got some sweet little fog lights there. And yeah. Yes, I think for me, KTM, it's watch this space. I reckon in a couple of years' time, they're going to do something a bit special, even more special. And we'll be back, we'll test ride that, and we'll see what we reckon. Until then, please like and subscribe, if you did like it. And yeah, subscribe to Blackness Rides. Cheers guys.